So is Kirby Smart worth the money he's getting paid at Georgia? He's making $6.8 million this year by my math. Dean Legge from Dog Post making you a smarter Georgia fan. This is Kirby's amended contract for through the 2025 season. And when you look at where he's at versus the rest of college football, $6.8 million is near the top. But then again, he's done a really good job of getting Georgia near the top, not quite to the top yet. I think when you start talking about this stuff, this is not anyone's money besides the universities. So I don't ever really get the outrage, I guess you could say, about the way coaches are paid from the fan perspective. The vast majority of fans do not pay coaches their contracts. They come from, if you just see right here, media compensation. That's CBS and ESPN or Disney. Coaches' equipment compensation. For this year, it's $2.2 million. That comes from Nike. So the vast majority of money that these coaches are making comes from people other than boosters. Now, I believe, personally, that if you can make as much money as possible, you should go do that. I don't have anything wrong with that, and I think Kirby has more than earned this type of contract. I also know that the only thing that's going to get him higher money or a newer contract is winning the national championship. It's that simple. And until he does that, he's probably not going to get more. I could see where they could win the league this year, win the SEC championship this year. I think that would warrant a new contract, more money for Kirby Smart. But the question is Kirby Smart worth the money that Georgia's paying him? And I think the simple answer is yes. All you have to do is look at two different things. And this is really what it comes down to for athletic departments. A, is he successful on the field? I don't think there's much question about that. I mean, the first season, Georgia was 8-5. Every season since then, he's won at least 11 games. Last season, finishing number 4 in the polls. He's not had anything other than a top 10 season his last 3 years. So 3 of 4 years have been top 10 seasons. That's really very good. That's not common in college football, and it's not been common at Georgia. Secondly, and this is not as important, but it's important. When you look at the fundraising that Georgia's been able to accomplish since Kirby Smart has been the head coach, facilities getting paid for just straight up, no borrowing money, stuff like that, that really matters. That matters a lot, in fact. $60+ million enhancements to Sanford Stadium. There's other enhancements to the football buildings, I guess for lack of a better term, football facilities, that are not Sanford Stadium. Those are also being paid for with donations. So people believe in what Kirby is doing. And both of those things combined mean you've probably got the right guy at the right place. A lot of times you've got the right guy, maybe they're not at the right place. I mean, take a look at Jimbo Fisher. He's been a head coach for a long time. He's having a hard time at Texas A&M. There's going to be a lot of pressure for him to turn it on this season. Mac Brown. He was the right guy at Texas until he wasn't. And that can happen a lot too. Mark Richt knows what that's about. So the thing about it is, when I say, is he worth the money? For me, right now, yeah, there's no question. If you look at this contract, it goes until December 31st, 2024. So that's the end of the 2024 season. That means that That means that Kirby and Georgia, that's the season that they will play Clemson to start the year, okay, in Atlanta. That's still a little bit of time off, but it's not so far off. So I think what we're going to see here is in the next couple of years, when will Kirby Smart and the Dogs agree to a new contract? If you look at, just for curiosity's factor, what is Kirby paid when Georgia goes to the SEC championship game? $100,000. What is Kirby paid when they play in something like the Sugar Bowl? They played in the Sugar Bowl twice and the Rose Bowl. He's gotten paid $175,000 last year for the Sugar Bowl, and he got $175,000 for the Sugar Bowl the year before. Here's the other important thing about this is we're in 2020 right now, and the buyout for Kirby Smart, whether he pays it or another institution pays it or whatever, $4 million if Kirby Smart resigns or terminates this agreement in calendar year 2020. So, and the numbers keep going down, that dwindle lower and lower. It's hard for me to believe that he would want to be somewhere else besides Georgia, because he's obviously played there, went there, and it's a power school, no doubt about that. But I do think that right now he's appropriately paid. The question is, when will it be time for a new contract? When will that happen? Before this season? Certainly not. And this has just been a wild year anyway. But 2024 is not that long away. In fact, you're recruiting kids right now who will be on the field with recruiting in 2024 with this 2021 class, 2022 class. You got 10 kids committed in 2021 and 2 kids committed in 2022. So right now you're kind of right at the beginning of this thing. Yes, we're 4 years into his tenure, but you have this season and 4 more. You got till 2024 for this contract to be up. So that's the question. Is Kirby paid correctly? I think he is right now. What do you think? You tell me below. And while you are thinking about that, click on the playlist right here for 2020. We're getting closer and closer to the Dogs playing. I mean, it's looking like a lot of teams are going to start playing in late August. They're moving their seasons up a week. Is Georgia going to do that? Dean Legge from Dog Post. Thanks for watching.